Hi everyone, my name is Steph. This is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about plans for 2026. I'm really excited about this. I will preface this by saying you're going to see me look exactly the same in a number of videos in December because I'm bulk filming as we get into the silly season. I just need to have things pre-filmed. So we are trying to get through quite a bit of content filming wise today, including this video, which has been something that has been rattling around in my brain for quite a few months because for whatever reason I've just decided that 2025 was not my year and I've needed things to look forward to. So that's what we've been doing. And I want to say a big shout out to everyone who filled in my channel survey a couple of months ago where I was asking quite a few questions around what you associate with my channel and things like that. And honestly, it was just really helpful and heartening to go back and see you guys send me information that I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing and you guys are enjoying it. And you know, the comments, they brought me joy. Thank you very much for that. But also just to see that I'm kind of on the right track with the things that I want to do because my channel is for me and I'll talk about it a little bit later. I'm going to do a video around starting a Booktube channel and things like that in the new year. And I feel like after being online for 10 years, making videos, my process doesn't change heaps year by year because everything has to be sustainable for me. You guys give me a lot of space to just do what I want, which I deeply appreciate. So thank you very much for that. So essentially all the information in this video is kind of come out of reflecting on that feedback and my own thoughts and processes and where I am at the moment with content making. So as we go through a few sections, if you filled in that form, you might see things that reflect your comments. But two things I wanted to show you is I made two little word clouds that just made me happy because as I was reading through things, I'm like, I have to include these. So the first one is the word associations with my channel and, you know, romance and hockey and kid lit and Australia and paranormal and Alona Andrews being right at the top of words that came up over and over again is not surprising. I really love this. I love seeing that. And then my other one was the favorite content on my channel. So you guys gave me feedback on what your favorite content to watch was. And this was really cool to see because it's a lot of the stuff that I enjoy making. And I'm glad that you guys are appreciating and enjoying it as well. What's happening in 2026? I know I've talked in other videos, like I've kind of dropped a few bits and pieces in live shows and whatnot as we've been talking about various things because I just cannot keep my mouth shut. Things are changing. Like in 2025, I did decide to change things up and give things a try. Like I took away the weekly wrap-ups and went to monthly wrap-ups and things like that. And let's be real, I have not loved that. It didn't take me very long to not love that. And I have persevered all year because like once I set my mind to it, like I set myself a target of let's just do the year, which is ridiculous because I don't generally believe in continuing to do something if it's not working for you. I genuinely would not recommend that to anyone. I kind of wanted to see if I could manage it for 12 months. We are at month 11 and I'm very much over it. So starting in January, we are bringing back the weekly wrap-ups because I just find it an easier way to manage talking about books. However, it's not going to be going back to the old books beside my bed theme, which makes sense because I used to film all of those sitting on my bed, which is in the room behind this wall. I no longer do that anymore because it's just a pain in the neck to film in it. I don't know how I managed it for as long as I did, but we're going to stay in this little filming location. The tentative name at the moment is the Weekly Book Steep because I would like to go back to pairing books and tea. And I have pulled down all of my mugs, all of my beautiful teacups, and I'm hoping to do something around pairing those things together. Because even though it's in my name, novel tea, T-E-A-T, I often don't talk about that side of the fact that I live off tea most days. So we're bringing that back in. We're going to be talking about books in a weekly wrap-up format, which will include things like weekly stats. It'll include reviews for any books that are not part of a reading project. So I still plan on having separate reading projects, in which case I might mention that I've read the book, but I won't talk about it in the weekly wrap-up. But something I am hoping to add to that format, which is a little bit different from what I used to do, is sharing some of the things I'm hoping to read in the upcoming week, because I'm hoping to move slightly into a more of a mood reading format generally across the week. And I'll talk about that when I talk about things that are not returning in 2026 on my channel. Yeah, I thought it would be kind of cool to say, okay, these are one or two books that are kind of on my radar that I'm hoping to get read in the next week. More as a bit of an insight sort of into how I think about my reading. So we'll see how it goes. The format may change. I think a few people will be happy the weekly wrap-ups are coming back because that came up quite a bit in the survey. I will be having monthly top 5 videos because I'm doing weekly wrap-ups. I will not continue with monthly wrap-ups. there is no need for both of those. But what I may try and do is a monthly top 5 of my top 5 books that I have read. That video will include the monthly stats, the top 5 books, maybe a quick goal check-in. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be everything that I read, because yeah, that's been an experience this year. To everyone who loves a monthly wrap-up, I love watching people's monthly wrap-ups. I hate filming them. The try a chapter videos will stay, but I will not be attempting to do one every month. In fact, what I'm hoping to do is actually trade off months and do maybe 6 try a chapter videos, and then the other 6 videos in that series are actually going to be me revisiting books that I've previously tried first chapters of, but have not finished reading yet. So I'm hoping to have a little more accountability in, if I've said that I want to continue and come back to these books, I'm going to do that. And I've got some plans with the spinner wheel and some blog ideas, so stay tuned. That's something that is in the works. I'm also hoping to continue the quarter yearly stats, because I do enjoy those. I love a good book stat video. Like, it's just, I find it fascinating. But part of the reason I want to look at this is I want to re-look at the format of how I talk about the books. I want to spend a little bit more time going into the spreadsheet breakdown and how all that works for people who are interested in seeing that side of how I record keep all of my data. And I also want to make sure that I am also documenting some of the other challenges, like Read What You Own and my library and subscription service book savings, that kind of stuff, because I find that stuff really interesting and it does help me to be a little bit more accountable overall. So I don't know, a lot of people said they like stats videos, so you'll get weekly, monthly and quarterly stats. Is that overkill? I don't know. Let me know down below if you think that's overkill. The other thing that I'm hoping to have a video of every month, or a vlog of every month, is a new to me Australian romance author. Because one of the big things that came out is that you guys appreciate that I highlight and focus on Australian authors. I would like to do an even better job of that. And so I am hoping to do a kind of like a book club, but not really, because I'm not going to be running live shows. I'm not going to be running discussion areas, but every quarter I am going to share 3 books that I'm going to read across the upcoming quarter by hopefully new to me Australian authors. Occasionally I feel like I might pull in someone I've read before if I think they've got a really exciting release that I want to highlight. But a new to me author that I'm going to read, that I'm going to vlog about if I get out and about. Guys, I know people said they wanted me to go out and about in vlogs more, but I don't really like going out and about. So that's it kind of depends on how I'm feeling. The goal will be to highlight a specific Australian author, a book of theirs, maybe a couple, I don't know. And there'll be another video this month that actually says the first 3 books of the year. I think I finally mapped them out. I'm looking forward to that. Just kind of doing a bit of a spotlight series across the year. So that's kind of the main things. In between all of that is going to be other content of various kinds. I'm still going to participate in readathons. I'm still going to participate in the Buzzwordathon that's staying. So I'll do my monthly video for that. I'm in 2 minds about the last 5 series in terms of if I'm doing the weekly wrap up, do I need that? Or do I just, include all of those books in the weekly wrap up and then every couple of months just pull together a whole lot of recommendations and throw them together as a recommendation list? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below on that. So if that's everything that's staying, what's going? Well, the monthly wrap-ups are going. They're gone. They're gone. You'll get one for November and you'll get one for December, and then that's it. There's no more. I can't handle it. The other thing that is going is monthly TBRs. I have decided that unless there is a readathon or something specific that I'm participating in, I'm not setting a TBR for myself. I will kind of, like in the background, I will always have things that I'm keeping track of, like my oldest KU book, my oldest Kindle book, etc. But I don't feel like my TBRs recently have served me as well as I would like them to. And that's because if I don't feel like reading something after a week of filming a TBR, I'm not going to read it. And I feel like there's kind of a pressure on Booktube and the book internet where you have to set a TBR and you have to talk about how you're going to read it. And then if you don't read it, you have to feel shame about not reading the books that you said you were going to read. I don't feel shame about not reading the books that I didn't want to read. I don't care. And I don't want to perpetuate that idea. And I feel like every time I film a TBR video, I have to put caveats in and saying, well, I'm going to read this many of the books. And one thing I've really tried to stop myself saying throughout the year is I have to read something. I don't have to read anything. No one has to read anything. I hate hearing it when people say it in videos. Like it actually causes me to have a full body cringe when someone says, oh, I have to read this book, or I don't really want to read this book now, but I pulled it out of a TBR jar, or I pulled it out of a spinner wheel or whatever, and I have to read it. Like you don't. Not in this day and age. And so I don't want to be perpetuating anything like that.
So no TBR videos anymore. And yes, I did have a very clickbaity December TBR video. Apologies for that. The kids wrap up, the individual kids wrap up videos will go because those reviews will end up rolling back into the weekly wrap ups for the week that books are published, which also works out better because it just means I can time things better for publishers when I'm committing to reviewing books. And I'm not participating in the 52 Book Club Challenge at this stage. Not because I don't like it. I really enjoyed the challenge this year. I thought it had some really interesting prompts. There were just too many prompts in the 2026 challenge that I'm absolutely not interested in completing. And I'm a bit of a completionist, and I don't want to have to force myself to read something I don't want to read just for the sake of completing a challenge, because as much as I say, I don't want to reinforce things like I have to read something. If I set myself a challenge to participate, it's the inner oldest child neurodivergent Virgo in me that means I have to complete something. So I'm just going to not. I'm going to not, because I'll have other challenges for myself to complete in 2026, and I'm happy with those. But who knows, in 2027, maybe they'll have some different prompts and I'll be right back into it. Next year is very exciting. It is my 10 years on Booktube, and I'm really looking forward to doing a lot of reflecting and thinking back on my experiences so far. As I said earlier, I'm hoping to maybe do a bit of a video on things to think about when you're starting a Booktube channel, especially as someone who has been in this space for a very long time and gone through many iterations of my channel and what I like to read. Maybe someone will be interested in that. But so far, some of the ideas, thank you. People did send in lots of really great suggestions for some content ideas. I'm hoping to do at least a couple of videos across the year. My actual 10 years on Booktube anniversary, I think, is in July. It's July or August. I think it's July. This is why I never remember these things, because I don't actually write the dates down. But I have got a few things that I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to reread 10 of my favorite books from the last 10 years. I have gone through a lot of those videos already to pull out those books. There were a lot of books because I've done some weird ways of wrapping up my favorite books of the year. And also, I don't believe in just whittling it down to like 5 or 10. I can't do that. So there were a lot, but I have thrown sort of my top wish list rereads into a spinner wheel that I will hopefully use throughout the year. Something that's been rattling around in my brain, because I'm not doing the A to Z challenge, I'm not doing the 52 Book Club challenge next year, is even going back over the last 10 years and finding a book that I haven't read that I would like to. So kind of like those books that just got missed. I don't know, I'm still working on that one. I will be reacting to my first book video. I haven't quite worked out how I'm actually going to film that, but I will be doing it. A couple of people wanted 10 years of reading stats. I don't know how I'm going to do that, because the first couple of years I was not tracking anything. So it's not going, if I do it, it won't be 100% accurate. So I've got to work out whether my little brain can handle the fact that I can't be 100% accurate. Bear with me, I will work my way through that. I will do a little bit of a discussion on how my reading has changed over the last 10 years. I'm thinking of maybe doing like my essential reading list, like the books that make me. I have done something previously where I talked about my reading history, but maybe this is about whittling down to the list of books that I think most accurately represent me. If I can make it different from that other video, I'll do it. And then I've got one other creative idea rattling around in my brain that I'm not going to talk about so much here. It's just, I haven't quite worked out how I'm going to manage it. But yes, those are the plans for the upcoming year. In the comments, I'd love to know, which parts are you excited about? Which parts are you most interested in watching? Is there anything I haven't talked about in this video that you needed me to answer? Feel free to ask those questions down below. If you just want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a speech bubble emoji. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.